have not heard anywhere the two statements address us on policy. Where is our policy on waste management and disposal?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, it is saddening, and I want to confirm that Kiteezi is a parish under Kasangati Town Council, the constituency being Kyadondo East. The affected villages of Lusanja, Kiteetika and Masoli parish existed way back. Actually, by the time the landfill was commissioned or gazetted in 1996, Kiteezi and Lusanja existed, and the people had their own land. It is actually the landfill that found the people, not the people settling near the landfill. Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, it is saddening, just as we joined the Parliament, this particular Parliament, in September 2021, I petitioned the Parliament and government on this floor and informed the House and government of the worsening state and condition of the landfill. Actually, a few days after, I went to the landfill with the State Minister for Kampala and the Deputy Executive Director for Kampala. Water flooding from the landfill had taken away people's houses. Part of our demands was for KCCA to station standby engineers on site so that they could avert the flooding, maintain the landfill, and regularly caution or alert the neighbors in the event of any risk. Unfortunately, on Saturday, with no alert, with no proof of a standby KCCA engineer or technical person, it is reported and narrated by the witnesses, not even as reported by the media. The witnesses are reporting that it was a blast that blew up the sand and garbage in the air with the smoke and then came down covering people's houses. That's the narrative from the residents. They even continue to allege that for months they saw Chinese contractors installing pipes in the heap of garbage, because there were two heaps. There's a new heap and the old heap. Now the old heap is the one where the Chinese installed alleged pipes. And when the locals questioned, these Chinese briefed them, according to the narrative from the village, the locals, that they are extracting gas. KCCA must come out open. What were the Chinese doing? We don't want to imagine and assume that it was a mere slide by the landfill. There are more likelihood that it was either an accident or an intentional mistake or negligence by either the Chinese or even KCCA. And even if it was the contractors, it was in full knowledge of KCCA. No one has mentioned that, not even in the Prime Minister's statement. Equally, when this tragedy happened, Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, I beg for your indulgence because I'm the area MP, and I'm sorry for taking long, much as all of you have issues to add. Colleagues, when this tragedy befell, it is the locals who did the first and initial rescue, using hands, hose, and pangas. We provided them with equally gloves. And every person reported to have been retrieved alive was actually retrieved by the locals, not government, not KCCA, not even police. When police came, they came with hundreds of servicemen, some in uniform, some ununiformed. By the time I arrived, I was there with the minister for disaster. The police themselves and some of their servicemen in plain clothes tried even to stop me from accessing. Of course, they had prior knowledge that for us, we wanted to find out what were the Chinese doing. We wanted to dig out and identify the positions that had been reported by the locals. As we speak now, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, part of the complaint we are having on ground, true, there are so many agencies on ground. And true, we have held meetings, both with the minister, the prime minister, and so many other agencies. But one of the concerns that has remained a constant is that the rescue operations are only done during the day. From Saturday, it is even saddening that people had to die. They were buried beyond the garbage. Kiteezi and this government could not proceed with the rescue efforts overnight. I was there at midnight. People were still crying under the garbage. Because in the first rescue efforts, people were following up, those who were knocking up and were digging those particular spots. The police and the militants chased us away. They chased us away, and I've been telling them and the minister that allow these locals to point at their houses. Maybe when you dig there, you can save some remaining lives. It has not happened. Let me Speaker and colleagues. These are also human. What we had is a purported condolence message from Mr. Museveni, alleging that these are encroachers near the landfill. These are lawful owners with land titles. Majority are owners of Milo and some Bibanja owners. It is very saddening to find your people being branded encroachers after being killed by the state. Who was in charge of the landfill? Under which law do neighbors owe a duty to protect themselves against the actions of a neighbor? Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues.
Order, honorable colleagues. Let the area member of parliament. I know emotions can run high on some of these situations, but let's listen. Honorable, you can try to conclude.
Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, our immediate prayer is for government to initiate rescue efforts day and night, because these are lives. We don't want to say we have lost all the hope, much as our hope has reduced. But at least rescue efforts can go on day and night. On Saturday, the minister was there and Kiteezi and other agencies. They promised to commence rescue efforts overnight and pray to offer light. I heard the Prime Minister, the minister thanking Kiteezi. They brought trucks for lights. When I went to the site around midnight, the generator for the truck, the generator for the lights was not working and functional. And neither was anyone standing by to even operate the machines. We are demanding that this rescue effort must be done day and night. Equally, for a number of our people who were injured during this crisis, we heard of condolences and support of 200, now 1 million. In this country, where can you get medication with a lost wound? Where can you get medication at 1 million? Let's talk about treating our people fully. Equally, when it comes to resettlement, it is true. There are some few houses which are closer to the landfill, and indeed they are at risk. But we are saying, as we discussed the question of resettling them in a tent, our people who had their own houses and land won't be resettled in the tents for the rest of their lives. We want a comprehensive approach that would talk about how do you compensate these people, where are they going. They cannot be taken to stay in the tents forever. These are people, some with families. When it comes to equally those in the tents, the tragedy befell on Saturday. The whole of Saturday, they had promised with the Red Cross and others to put a tent. Honorable Speaker and colleagues, the tent was placed in the night. Most of the victims had to seek shelter from neighbors. I was there overnight. And even when the tent was raised, the Minister for Disaster had promised that they're going to offer beddings and other items. They were only delivered yesterday, some of them. Just yesterday, and it fell on Saturday. Where is the preparedness of government? Because these are lives. And that's why the minister is mentioning a small number. Because people don't see hope in going in that would be tent. They don't see any hope, because by Saturday, even when they raised the tents, there was nothing inside the tent. Even the toilet came 7 hours later, the portable toilet. And these are lives you are putting in a tent. Where is the preparedness and the urgency in rescuing and supporting these people? Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, as I conclude, when it comes to the rescue efforts, part of the concerns of the locals is the security organs brought in their own people in plain clothes who they are working with. Those same people working with security blocked the rightful residents, including myself as the area MP initially, until it had to be the intervention of the minister and the IGP. And we are telling them we are the people who know. Indeed, the Prime Minister was embarrassed on the ground when she inquired from one of the people working with the police, and that person could not identify the relative he's looking for. There is a possibility that there are some people who are pressed to own bodies not belonging to themselves and want to understand what is being done at the mortuary to ensure that the bodies are handed to rightful relatives. Because there's a likelihood, and even those who are right, I interacted with one of the family which claimed that they were being charged to retrieve their body from the city mortuary. I brought it to the attention of the Minister for Kampala and the Prime Minister on the ground. We need a clear position and commitment that these people are going to be supported, compensated, and get their bodies for free. It is KCCA responsibility and government. Government must come out open and own up this saga and make a promise to compensate and fully compensate these people. As I conclude, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues,
and I will conclude this time.
We are very sad. We are very sad as people of Kyadondo East. We are very sad as the people of Kiteezi and Lusanja. But I want to bring to your attention, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, that a number of these victims are from your areas. Actually, when I was on ground overnight, I saw a family of 20 stranded outside, covering themselves, and I got interested and inquired. They told me they had traveled from Mbale. Another family had traveled from Guru. And these people are saying that their family members are still missing, buried by the sun. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, when the Prime Minister visited Lusanja yesterday, I brought to their attention that some of these families are not from here, but they have come to identify their bodies. The rescue exercise has delayed. How do we support them? The Prime Minister said we cannot support them. These are your people. They are there waiting for bodies of their relatives. They traveled from your areas. They don't have a house. I pleaded with the Prime Minister that allow some of these people, I did just screen them and allow them to shelter in the tent, because they are staying outside. When you see them, you may think they are residents of our area. No, they traveled from your own areas. You people here, you members here. When I brought the attention of the Prime Minister.
Honour Mwada, I know it's very emotional and all that, okay?
My request is that even these people who traveled from distant areas must be supported. The Prime Minister rejected that proposal with the ministers, and I'm bringing it to your attention because they travel from your own areas. Who is going to support them? They are staying outside because the rescue effort is ongoing. They haven't received their own bodies. What should they do? And then lastly, the locals are requested to be allowed to identify positions of their own houses, much as they were chased from the landfill. But they are saying they know the exact location of their houses. They wanted to support and assist the police. We requested that at least they identify one relative, one family member at a go. They take that member down to identify the location of their house. Because these excavators are going step by step. They may take months to reach. There are even some KCCA workers who are trapped in a KCCA small truck, they are still under the garbage. But KCCA is not speaking about it. There are some KCCA workers who are operating a smaller machine. They were also covered. The distance from where the excavators have reached to where they are is still long, and the coverage is not even a quarter so far in terms of the coverage. We must make all efforts and advocacy that the rescue is speeded up, and we support our people. It is very saddening, Honorable Speaker and colleagues.
Thank you.
22 kilometers from Kampala via Gayaza Road, when you take that route, and the immediate parish, that is Dundu, which is bordering Mukono and Chira municipality. It is a densely populated parish, and 10 years back when KCCA purchased this land, it very well knew that the area has people. They were never notified about their intention to use the land. The land was gazetted as purely a residential area. And we are imagining shifting disaster from Kampala to our area. We don't know how the government does its work, but few weeks back, we are here debating about the forceful eviction which happened in Rubiji. Now here is the catastrophic eviction which is happening at Kiteezi. The way forward, Honorable Minister, Dundu is purely gazetted by Mukono District as a residential area. We are ready to accommodate those people. You shift them to Dundu and retain the land, shift all the machines to Kiteezi, then shifting the problems. As you are cleaning Kampala, you are dirtening Mukono. We can't contemplate, and we are not ready to receive and accept your garbage and waste. That is the position of Mukono. It is very unfortunate, right, Honorable Speaker. We tried several times to engage the minister, to engage the directors at KCCA. Several people, as Honorable Taylor has stated it, are ready to invest in West. Are ready, and they are approaching us, ready to invest in the West. But the investment which the government is willing to accept, for example, in power, the tariff, is 5 cents. Colleagues, you are well aware that Kachira contributes on the national grid, and they are contributing at 8 cents, and recently Karuma at 18 cents. Why this one frustrating this investment at 5 cents? You can easily know that.
Karuma at 18 cents? I think you need to get your facts right.
I'll cross-check that. Honorable Speaker.
Karma shouldn't be more than 5 US cents per kilowatt hour.
Yes,
4.7 US cents per kilowatt hour, not 8.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for that correction. So, as a way forward, we have already proposed the compensation mode to shift these people to Dundu on that land which is purely gazetted as a residential land, and you also do a survey with Singapore. We have some few years back, we are ahead of Singapore. Singapore, how it has managed to do with waste management. We can take a field visit to Singapore, or even in Rwanda, how they have managed it. Some people here had to compare us with Rwanda, but please accept and go and you learn some few lessons from Rwanda, how they have managed to do with waste. Maybe with that we can, even you don't need big land. You can do that management at 10 acres, even if it is a big city like Kampala. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Question.